The most dangerous words ever spoken are, I'll do it when I'm ready, when I'm certain, when it's safe, when I have all the answers. Here's the brutal truth. That moment of complete certainty you're waiting for, it doesn't exist. It never has, and it never will. Every person who's ever achieved anything meaningful did so while trembling with uncertainty. Every breakthrough, every innovation, every act of courage happened in the face of the unknown. Yet we've created a culture that treats uncertainty like a disease to be cured rather than a power to be harnessed. And in doing so, we become experts at talking ourselves out of our own potential. I used to be terrified of uncertainty. At the very thought of not knowing what lay ahead would keep me awake at night, tossing and turning, my mind racing with worst-case scenarios. Maybe you know that feeling. That knot in your stomach when life throws you a curveball. That paralyzing fear of the unknown that makes you want to retreat into your comfort zone and never leave. But what if I told you that the very thing that terrifies you, that uncertainty you're desperately trying to avoid, is actually the gateway to your greatest transformation? What if embracing uncertainty rather than fighting it could unleash potential within you that you never knew existed? Take a moment right now to think about the biggest changes in your life, the moments that shaped who you are today. Were any of them perfectly planned? Did they unfold exactly as you expected? Or did they emerge from chaos? From moments when life pulled the rug out from under your feet and forced you to adapt? The truth is, we're all living in constant uncertainty, whether we acknowledge it or not. Every breath we take, every step we make, carries an element of the unknown. We've just become masters at creating the illusion of certainty through our routines, our plans, our desperate attempts to control every aspect of our lives. But here's what nobody tells you about uncertain. It's not your enemy. It's the fertile soil from which all possibilities grow. Every great innovation, every breakthrough, every moment of personal growth emerged from someone stepping into the unknown, someone willing to embrace the discomfort of uncertainty. You might be sitting there thinking, that's all well and good, but my situation is different. I have responsibilities. I can't afford to take risks. Let me ask you this, can you afford not to? Can you afford to let fear keep you trapped in a life that's smaller than what you're capable of living? Consider the metaphor of a butterfly emerging from its cocoon. If someone, out of kindness, were to help the butterfly by cutting open the cocoon, they would actually be condemning it to death. It's the very struggle of breaking free that forces fluid into the butterfly's wings, giving it the strength to fly. Without that struggle, without that period of uncertainty and apparent chaos, the butterfly would never reach its full potential. You are no different. The struggles you face, the uncertainties that keep you awake at night are strengthening you. They're preparing you for flight, but only if you stop resisting them, only if you learn to embrace them. Think about a time when you felt completely lost, when everything you thought you knew was turned upside down. Remember that feeling of standing at the edge of the unknown, your heart racing, your mind screaming at you to retreat to safety? Now, looking back, what did that experience teach you? How did it shape you? What strengths did you discover within yourself that you never knew you had? The problem isn't uncertainty itself. It's our relationship with it. We've been conditioned to believe that we need to have everything figured out, that not knowing is somehow a failure on our part. But what if not knowing is actually the most natural? What if our obsession with certainty is what's holding us back from living fully? Look at children. They're masters at embracing uncertainty. They don't need to know how everything will turn out before they try something new. They don't paralyze themselves with what-ifs and worst-case scenarios. They simply explore, learn, and grow through direct experience. Somewhere along the way, we lost that natural ability. We traded our curiosity for certainty, our wonder for worry. That childlike ability to embrace uncertainty isn't gone. It's just dormant. And awakening it begins with a simple shift in perspective. Instead of seeing uncertainty as something to fear, what if you saw it as an adventure? Instead of trying to eliminate it from your life, what if you welcomed it as a teacher? Think about the most alive you've ever felt. Chances are it wasn't during a moment of complete certainty and control. It was probably during a moment when you stepped out of your comfort zone, when you took a risk, when you allowed yourself to be vulnerable to the unknown. That's because uncertainty awakens something primal within us. It forces us to be fully present, fully engaged with life. When we don't know what's coming next, we can't operate on autopilot. We have to become more aware, more alive, more in tune with our instincts and intuition. But I'm not suggesting you throw caution to the wind and embrace chaos for chaos's sake. This isn't about being reckless or irresponsible. It's about developing a new relationship with uncertainty, one based on trust rather than fear, on openness rather than resistance. Start small. Notice where in your life you're gripping too tightly to the illusion of control. Where are you saying no to opportunities because you can't guarantee the outcome? Where are you choosing the familiar over the possible simply because it feels safe? Challenge yourself to take one small step into uncertainty each day. Strike up a conversation with a stranger. Take a different route to work. Say yes to an invitation that makes you slightly uncomfortable. Each time you deliberately choose uncertainty over certainty, you're building your uncertainty muscle. You're teaching your nervous system that the unknown doesn't have to be threatening. Remember, the goal isn't to eliminate fear. It's to stop letting fear make your decisions for you. Fear will always be present when you're stepping into uncertainty. That's natural. That's human. And the question is, will you let that fear hold you back, or will you use it as fuel to propel you forward? The most profound truth about uncertainty is that it's the only place where genuine transformation can occur. Think about water for a moment. When water is ice, it's rigid, fixed, predictable. When it's liquid, it's flexible, adaptable, able to flow around obstacles and find new paths. But it's in that uncertain state between ice and steam, that transformative moment of change where water's true potential is revealed. You too are in a constant state of transformation, whether you realize it or not. Every experience, every challenge, every moment of uncertainty is reshaping you. The question, are you actively participating in this transformation, or are you resisting it? Let me share something that might shake you to your core. Your comfort zone, that place where you feel safe and in control, is actually the most dangerous place you can be. It's like a beautiful prison decorated with all the things that make you feel secure, but still a prison nonetheless. The walls of this prison are built from your fears, your limiting beliefs, your need for certainty. Take a moment right now to feel the weight of that truth. How many dreams have you left unexplored because they lived outside your comfort zone? How many relationships have remained surface level because diving deeper felt too uncertain? How many times have you chosen the known path over the path of possibility? The irony is that while we think staying in our comfort zone keeps us safe, it actually makes us more vulnerable. Like muscles that atrophy from lack of use, our ability to handle uncertainty weakens when we consistently choose comfort over growth. And in a world that's changing faster than ever before, adaptability, the ability to thrive in uncertainty isn't just helpful, it's essential for survival. But there's where it gets interesting. The very uncertainty that terrifies you is also the source of your greatest power. Think about it. When everything is certain, when you know exactly what's going to happen next, there's no room for miracles. There's no space for synchronicity, for unexpected opportunities, for those magical moments. Uncertainty is the canvas upon which you paint your future. The bigger the canvas and more uncertainty you're willing to embrace, the more possibilities become available to you. When you try to make everything certain, you're essentially working with a postage stamp-size canvas. Is it any wonder your life feels cramped and limited? Let's do something right now. Close your eyes for a moment and think about the biggest dream you have for your life. The one that makes your heart race when you think about it. The one that feels almost too big to say out loud. Got it? Now, what's stopping you from pursuing that dream? If you're honest with yourself, isn't it the uncertainty, the not knowing how it will turn out, the fear of looking foolish or failing? But they tend to set you free. You're going to feel uncertain whether you pursue your dreams or not. You're going to face failure whether you play it safe or take risks. The only choice you really have is whether you're going to feel that uncertainty while moving toward what you really want, or while staying stuck in a life that's too small for your spirit. Every regret you currently carry is likely not from the risks you took, but from the ones you didn't take, the conversations you didn't have, the chances you didn't seize, the dreams you didn't pursue, all because uncertainty felt too uncomfortable. But what if uncertainty isn't just something to be endured? What if it's actually the universe's way of letting you know you're on the right track? Think about it. If you're feeling uncertain, it means you're pushing beyond what you already know. You're growing. You're evolving. You're alive. The problem is we've been taught to see uncertainty as a warning sign, when in reality, it's more like a "you are here" marker on the map of personal growth. If you're not feeling uncertain, you're probably not growing. If you're not sometimes scared, you're probably not challenging yourself enough. What would change in your life if you started seeing uncertainty not as your enemy, but as your ally? What if, instead of trying to eliminate uncertainty from your life, you started actively seeking it out? What if you began to trust that the universe has plans for you that are far bigger and more beautiful than anything you could plan for yourself? This isn't about blind faith or reckless abandon. It's about developing a new relationship with the unknown, one based on curiosity rather than fear, on possibility rather than limitation. It's about understanding that while certainty might feel comfortable, it's uncertainty that leads to growth. Think of uncertainty like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. Each time you deliberately step into the unknown, each time you choose growth over comfort, you're building your capacity to handle bigger uncertainties, bigger challenges, bigger opportunities. One of the most powerful shifts you can make in your relationship with uncertainty is to stop asking, "What if everything goes wrong?" and start asking, "What if everything goes right?" Notice how differently your body feels when you ask each question. Notice how your energy shifts, how your possibilities expand or contract. The stories we tell ourselves about uncertainty shape our entire experience of life. When we view uncertainty as dangerous, our bodies respond with stress hormones, our minds cloud with fear, and we naturally retreat from opportunities for growth. But when we view uncertainty as the birthplace of possibility, our bodies relax, our minds open, and we begin to see opportunities where we once saw only threats. Think about the ocean for a moment. On the surface, it can be chaotic, unpredictable, even frightening. But dive deeper, and you'll find a profound stillness that exists regardless of what's happening above. You have the same stillness within you, a core of peace that remains unchanged, even in the face of life's greatest uncertainties. The key is learning to access this inner stillness, this deeper knowing, especially when the surface of your life feels turbulent. This isn't about denying your fears or pretending you're not affected by uncertainty. It's about developing the ability to hold both, to feel the fear and uncertainty while staying connected to your deeper wisdom. What if the uncertainty you're facing right now is actually a gift? What if the very situation that's causing you anxiety is actually the universe's way of pushing you towards something better? What if your current discomfort is actually the labor pain of a new version of yourself being born? Every caterpillar must face the absolute uncertainty of dissolving completely before it can become a butterfly. During this transformation, it literally turns to liquid inside its chrysalis. Imagine that level of uncertainty, and not knowing what you are, having no form, no structure, no guarantee that you'll emerge as anything at all. That this complete surrender to uncertainty is exactly what allows the miracle of transformation to occur. You're in your own chrysalis right now. We all are. The question is, will you fight against the dissolution of your old form, or will you trust the process? Will you let uncertainty be your teacher, your guide to a new way of being? Every skill, take for granted was once uncertain territory. Walking, talking, reading, these were all once completely foreign to you. But you didn't let the uncertainty stop you. You didn't wait until you were certain you could walk before taking your first steps. You stumbled, fell, got back up, and tried again. What if you approached all of life's uncertainties with that same childlike determination? The truth is, certainty is often the enemy of growth. When we're certain about something, we stop questioning, stop exploring, stop learning. We become rigid, fixed, unable to adapt to new circumstances. But when we embrace uncertainty, we remain flexible, adaptable, alive to new possibilities. Think about the most successful people you know. Their success didn't come from always knowing what to do. It came from being willing to try things without knowing how they would turn out. It came from being comfortable with being uncomfortable. It came from embracing uncertainty as a necessary part of the journey. But here's what's really fascinating. The more you practice embracing uncertainty, the more you discover that What you're really afraid of wasn't the uncertainty itself. It was your reaction to it. You were afraid you couldn't handle it. You were afraid you would fall apart. You were afraid you would fail. But look at your life. Look at all the uncertainties you've already faced and survived. Look at all the times you didn't know how things would turn out, but you made it through anyway. You're stronger than you think. You're more resilient than you know. You're better equipped to handle uncertainty than you give yourself credit for. The key is to start small. Don't try to embrace all of life's uncertainties at once. Start with tiny steps outside your comfort zone. Maybe it's speaking up at a meeting when you usually stay quiet. Maybe it's taking a different route home from. Maybe it's striking up a conversation with someone new. Each time you deliberately choose to step into uncertainty, you're rewiring your brain. You're teaching your nervous system that uncertainty doesn't equal danger. You're building new neural pathways that associate uncertainty with opportunity rather than threat. The universe speaks to us through uncertainty. It's in those moments when we don't know what's coming next that we're most open to guidance, most receptive to new possibilities, most available for miracles. When we try to eliminate uncertainty from our lives, we're essentially putting up a do not disturb sign to the universe. There's a profound difference between being uncertain and being lost. Being uncertain simply means you don't know what's coming next. Being lost means you've lost touch with your inner compass, your deeper wisdom, your essential truth. You can be completely uncertain about your next step while being absolutely clear about your direction. Think about how you navigate a dark room. You can't see everything at once, but you can feel your way forward, one step at a time. Each step reveals what you need to know for the next step. Life works the same way. You don't need to see the entire path to take the next step. You just need to trust your ability to navigate whatever comes up. We want guarantees. We want to know that if we take a risk, it will pay off. If we make a change, it will be for the better. If we step into uncertainty, we'll come out ahead. But life doesn't offer guarantees. It offers opportunities. It offers possibilities. It offers growth. What dreams have you put on hold because you're waiting for certainty? What relationships have you kept superficial because diving deeper feels too risky? What parts of yourself have you kept hidden because revealing them feels too uncertain? The cost of avoiding uncertainty is always greater than the cost of embracing it. When we avoid uncertainty, we don't just miss opportunities, we miss life itself. We miss the depth of experience that comes from fully engaging with the unknown. We miss the growth that comes from challenging our limitations. We miss the joy that comes from surprising ourselves. Every meaningful relationship begins with uncertainty. Every new skill starts with not knowing. Every great achievement starts with taking a risk. Every moment of genuine joy comes from being fully present in the uncertainty of now, rather than trying to control what comes next. The paradox is that the more we try to create certainty in our lives, the more fragile we become. Like a tree that grows in a completely protected environment, never exposed to wind or storms, we develop shallow roots. We become unable to handle even small disruptions. But when we learn to dance with uncertainty, we develop deep roots. We become resilient, adapt. There's a beautiful concept in Japanese aesthetics called wabi-sabi, finding beauty in imperfection, impermanence, and incompleteness. What if we applied this same concept to our relationship with uncertainty? What if, instead of seeing uncertainty as a flaw in our lives that needs to be fixed, we saw it as a source of beauty and possibility? Think about music for a moment. What makes a piece of music beautiful isn't just the notes. It's the spaces between the notes. What makes a conversation meaningful isn't just the words. It's the moments of silence, of uncertainty, of not knowing what comes next. What if uncertainty is the space between the notes of your life, creating the rhythm and melody of your unique journey? Here's a truth that might shake you. Your need for certainty is not protecting you. It's limiting you. It's keeping you trapped in a small, predictable life when you were meant for something far greater. It's like trying to control the ocean by only accepting the calm days, missing the raw beauty and power of the storms. But how do we begin to embrace uncertainty when everything in us resists it? It starts with awareness. Notice when you're trying to control outcomes. Notice when you're avoiding opportunities because they feel too uncertain. Notice when you're letting fear of the unknown make your decisions for you. Then challenge yourself to stay present with that uncertainty without trying to fix it or escape it. Feel the discomfort in your body. Notice the thoughts that arise, but don't let them drive your actions. What if this uncertainty is actually working for me, not against me? What if this discomfort is a sign of growth, not danger? Every time you choose to embrace uncertainty rather than run from it, you're building your capacity for life. You're expanding your comfort zone. You're developing the kind of inner strengths that can't be taken away by external circumstances. Think about the most meaningful moments in your life. The deepest connections, the biggest breakthroughs, the moments of pure joy. Weren't they all touched by uncertainty? Didn't they all require you to step into the unknown, to be vulnerable, to risk something? That's because uncertainty is not just something to be endured on the way to certainty. It's the very space where life happens in its fullest expression. It's where we discover who we really are, what we're really capable of, what life is really offering us. What if today, right now, you made a radical commitment to yourself? Not a commitment to eliminate uncertainty from your life. That's impossible. But a commitment to stop letting uncertainty hold you back. A commitment to start seeing uncertainty not as your enemy, but as your partner in growth. Imagine living each day not with the burden of having to know everything, but with the excitement of discovering what lies beyond your current understanding. Imagine approaching each challenge not with fear of the unknown, but with curiosity about what it might teach you. Imagine embracing each moment of uncertainty as an opportunity to demonstrate your trust in life's unfolding. The truth is, you've already survived every uncertain moment life has thrown at you so far. You've already proven your resilience, your adaptability, your capacity to navigate the unknown. You're already an expert at handling uncertainty. You just haven't given yourself credit for it. Look at your hands for a moment. These hands have carried you through countless uncertain moments. They've picked you up when you've fallen. They've reached out for help when you needed it. They've created things you once thought impossible. These same hands are strong enough to carry you through whatever uncertainties lie ahead. Your relationship with uncertainty is one of the most important relationships you'll ever have. Like any relationship, it can be one of struggle and resistance or one of trust and cooperation. The choice is yours. The quality of your life will be directly proportional to your ability to embrace uncertainty. So I challenge you. Now I dare you to start living differently from this moment forward. To start seeing uncertainty not as something that happens to you, but as something that happens for you. To start treating each uncertain moment as an invitation to grow, to learn, to expand beyond your current limitations. The next time you feel that familiar tightness in your chest, that flutter of anxiety in your stomach when facing uncertainty, pause, breathe. Remember that this feeling isn't a warning to retreat. It's a sign that you're alive, that you're growing, that you're engaging fully with life. Remember that every great adventure begins with uncertainty. Every meaningful connection starts with vulnerability. Every breakthrough requires stepping into the unknown. Your uncertainty is not your weakness. It's your gateway to everything you've ever dreamed of becoming. You are standing at the threshold of something extraordinary. The only question is, will you let uncertainty stop you, or will you let it propel you forward? Will you shrink in the face of the unknown, or will you expand into the possibilities it offers? The choice is yours. It always has been. And while I can't tell you exactly what lies ahead if you choose to embrace uncertainty, I can tell you this with absolute certainty. A life lived in fear of uncertainty is far more painful than any uncertainty you'll ever face. So step forward, take that risk. Start that conversation, make that change. Not because you're certain of the outcome, but because you're certain that staying stuck in fear is no longer an option. Not because you know exactly where you're going, but because you trust yourself to handle whatever comes. The world is waiting for the gifts that only you can bring. It's waiting for the light that only you can shine. It's waiting for the difference that only you can make. Don't let uncertainty rob the world of your unique contribution. Don't let fear of the unknown keep you from discovering the extraordinary person you're capable of becoming. Your time is now. Your moment is here. And yes, it's uncertain. Yes, it's scary. Yes, it's uncomfortable. But that's exactly why it's perfect. That's exactly why it's yours. That's exactly why it matters. The future belongs to those who learn to dance with uncertainty, who embrace it as a partner rather than fight it as an enemy, Will you join that dance? Will you take that first step? Will you embrace the uncertainty that terrifies you, knowing that within it lies everything you've ever dreamed of becoming? The choice is yours. The time is now. And the only certainty you need is the certainty that you are ready to begin.